Aloha YouTube. How is everybody doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is October the 16th. It is Friday 2020 and the US stock market is closed. We are looking at my Roth IRA here and my M1 Finance account, and this is what happened for the day with all of my holdings. As you can see, not a lot of growth today as far as percentage wise. It is a volatile year, as I've been mentioning in all my videos, because not just because of the high unemployment rate and more people filing for unemployment, still in the 800,000s, but also because it's an election year. So it's not uncommon for the stock market, which does not like uncertainty, and the election can go either way. It could stay with our current president, or we could have a new elected president. My personal opinion, which my videos here, I do look things up and research online, but you should do your own research as well too, because I just say my personal opinion, even though I do research, but I say that so that you will do your own research. So my personal opinion, the stock market always filters out and adjusts to whoever is elected. There are some articles that I read that talked about Republican-led Senate could cause the stock market to dip for a little while. You just kind of have to feel it out, because those are analysts, those are people who follow these certain trends and stuff like that, and it still doesn't always work out exactly that way either. So in this video, we are going to talk about one of my ETFs. DIA is the ticker symbol, and I'm also going to show you how my individual holdings have performed for the day. I do have breakdowns of all of my holdings in previous videos if you want to check those out. Also, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video, and you can watch more of my videos in the future. I do have a dividend tracker video that I do at the end of every single week, so that will be later on today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow when I'll get to it. It's almost 3 p.m. here in Hawaii now. So, but that one shows you how much dividends I am paid every single year, and an estimated how much I will be paid in the next 25 years, all the way out to 2044. And it's estimated because you just don't know what companies will do with their dividend from quarter to quarter. So, and it is earnings season, so I will have future videos on companies that I own for holdings that I have that, I can't talk all of a sudden. The companies that I own and post their earnings for this quarter, I will be doing videos on those, as I've already done for JP Morgan, Johnson & Johnson, and Bank of America from my Fidelity account. So if you check my playlist, you can see all of my brokerages broken up in the playlist there. Even the smaller ones, Webull, Doe Finance, and Public. And just to be honest, Webull and Doe Finance, I signed up just for the free stocks. And you could do so too when you look at the links in the description. So, but before you get to the links in the description, hit the subscribe button. Also like the video, and feel free to share with your family and friends as well. So, opening it up here, looking at my blue chip slice, you can see that my blue chips, only 2 holdings in the red for today, and not by a whole lot. Kimberly-Clark, which I really kind of thought Kimberly-Clark would do better with the stay-at-home economy, and McDonald's has pretty much outperformed them in the stay-at-home economy, even all time, in my holdings here. In my real estate investment trust, which has kind of struggled with this economy, as they collect rent from people who rent their buildings for either retail or data centers or e-commerce shipping or whatever the company does, or American Tower, which is cell phone towers and fiber cables. Only the REIT finished in the red today. Everything else was in the green. And technology kind of took it on the chin today. Apple down almost 1.5%, which really, Apple could shoot up 3% over the next 4 days, or 10% over the next week, or the next 2 weeks. So, and you really have no reason to be concerned with Apple, my personal opinion, just because they are very well run. They have an amazing balance sheet. They are future-proof. It's just kind of a surprise that with their new iPhone and their other products that they have just recently announced, that their shares would drop down, but it has been volatile, and I mentioned my personal opinion on that. People kind of buying Christmas gifts, so they'll invest in the FANG stocks and the high growth high growth internet stocks or e-commerce stocks like Amazon, Apple, Netflix, just to make some money, and then they sell out of it. So that's just my personal opinion, and they might sell out of it just to pay bills too, because there are a lot of people that are unemployed, so, or have reduced wages. So, but all time for the portfolio, you can see up 25%. At one time, at the beginning of October, I was close to 30% at 28%. You can see that in previous videos as well too. And overall, all of my slices have performed well. And overall, all of my holdings have performed well all time since I started this back in September of last year. So it is 13 months old now. And some of these I did not add all at the same time. I added later on. I started my Roth IRA relatively small, and I have made some changes by selling out of SPHD, which was the last one, the last of the smaller ETFs that I had bought into when I first started my Roth IRA. So overall, pretty good as being a first-time investor in my first recession as a first-time investor. Not my first recession as an adult, and not my first recession as far as being alive, because I was born in 1975, so the economy wasn't good then. President Reagan was elected in 1980. Jimmy Carter was the president at the time. And then, of course, we had the dot-com, which was kind of more of a bubble, I think, not really much of a recession in 1999, 2000 time. And then the Great Recession, 2007 to 2009. That one really hurt me because I was only out of college like 7-8 years, and I ended up losing my job and getting another job and losing that job as well too. So anyway, that's a little bit about me, but let's look at Dow Jones Industrial Average, ticker symbol DIA. I did put my money from SPHD into this company. The reason why I did it is because the growth capital gains potential with Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF is better than SPHD. SPHD I did like. I know a lot of people on YouTube still like that ETF. The 5-year growth wasn't the greatest. I won't talk much more about them because I do have another video. Let me focus myself back to Dow Jones Industrial Average here. Their top 10 holdings, surprisingly, as of last week or this week, I guess, their top 10 holdings does not include Apple. It is in their top 15 holdings, but it's not in their top 10 holdings. Their top 10 holdings do have very, very strong companies: United Health Group, Home Depot, Salesforce. I believe Salesforce is in their top 10 just because they are kind of the new kids on their block. They were just added to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And then Microsoft, McDonald's, Visa, Honeywell, 3M, and Goldman Sachs are the other companies, as well as Amgen, in their top 10 holdings. So these are all solid companies. And United Health Group, I don't own them personally. I'm not going to go into why I don't own United Health Group as an insurance provider, but they are a strong company. Home Depot I would like to own. I do own a very small portion of Salesforce in my Robinhood portfolio, and then I do own Microsoft and McDonald's in this one. I would like to add Visa. When things dipped in March and all through the summer, I was looking to put Visa, but I really just wanted to expand on the holdings that I have right now because they were so cheap, and I like to buy the dips. So I'm not 100% buy the dip with dividend growth companies and strong blue chip companies like Visa, but I'd rather not buy in at $200. I'd rather buy in at 170 something or 180 something. So, and that has kind of gone by right now. We'll see what the future holds when I can get back into it again. So for this ETF, you can see I own just a little over 2 shares. According to Seeking Alpha, and sometimes Seeking Alpha, their information can be a little bit off, but their dividend yield is 2.81%, and they have an annual payment of $8. DIA is a monthly dividend ETF, and I do like the monthly dividend paying holdings. The only other one that I own right now is Realty Income. If you saw my other videos, you know that I did own ticker symbol LTC at one time, as well as Apple Hospitality at one time as well too. But LTC I would still like to get into, but right now I'm still just a little bit more skeptical with them. not as a company, but what the future might hold because of everything that happened this year in 2020. So monthly, the dividend payout is the middle of the month for DIA. This month it was 11/16, so I will get that added to my dividend payment here relatively. Actually, I think I was already paid it, so Seeking Alpha might be off on that. Yeah, I was paid on the 13th of this month from Dow Jones Industrial Average, and then Realty Income pays in the middle of the month as well too. October 15th, I was paid $1.32 for them. That's the little bit of cash that I have. I do reinvest all my dividends. I don't have DRIP or auto invest here on M1 Finance. I do have DRIP for Robinhood, but for my Fidelity and M1 Finance, I just will take the dividend and put it into the next holding when I decide to do my buy. And I do my buy basically every single week with my Roth IRA with M1 Finance on Thursday. I did that video yesterday for you. Next week I might move it up to Tuesday or Wednesday just because M1 Finance only allows one time trading in the middle of the day or at the beginning of the US stock market, which for me is 3:30 in the morning. So I do have Procter & Gamble and Colgate-Palmolive with ex-dividend dates next week on the 20th or the 22nd. So I would like to add a share, another $100 to one of those companies next week. So pay attention for my other videos that are coming out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Mahalo and aloha.